Why are a lot of twin flames addicted to destruction and chaos? Hi, I'm Nicole Peretti with Twin Flame Revolution. I'm one half of Twin Flame Revolution. I'm a consciousness mentor, a badass coach, and really help people to see past the human eye, to get down to the core of some of the systematic things that are going on in their lives. So, we're going to go back to a little one-on-one on, wow, twin flames, what are we doing here? What is the mission, baby? What's the mission? The mission is to be able to express God's love, unconditional love frequency on a planet that's very conditional, right? We're in a plane of existence that has been distorted, right? And there's levels of that distortion that go up and up and up. And we've been in this distortion where we've been trapped. We're looping. Right? We're looping in these destructive patterns, in death culture, in being controlled and manipulated, having a really hard time being able to create new earth, create heaven on earth, be able to just access that while being here so that the reality can shift. And so as twin flames, we incarnate on earth in very tough spots. We incarnate in areas where we need to bridge the gap between this plane and divine essence, this unconditional love that shifts and changes the way we see things, the way we feel things, the way we experience things, and the way things look. And so if you look at destruction, right, you have destruction, and on the other side of that is creation, right? There are universal principles that are working in here that state that this destruction and creation are the same thing. The law of polarity says that these things are the same thing at different degrees. So it's very easy when we are incarnating in very tough spots into addiction, right? Into breaking down and building bridges between, religion and spirituality, bridges between race, bridges between gender, bridges between sexuality, ideas around these things. Doing these things, we incarnate in these tough spots so that we can bring light to them, bring understanding to them, and bring change to these things so that we can unify as a whole. We can unify as a whole and remember, because when we unify in that way, we're remembering, right, that we're source essence creation and that we have a choice on the destruction and on creation, on death and rebirth, on chaos and order. All of it's necessary. It's necessary to get down. The contrast is necessary so that you yourself, with your free will, have the option to choose. And as we choose more of this creation energy, we start to shift. But why do we get addicted to destruction? Why do we get addicted to the chaos? Well, first off, we're used to it. Right? For millennia, for so many lifetimes, we have been here incarnated in so much destruction, so much agonizing trauma, so many choices that led us down the wrong road, so many different things that cause a lot of pain in the pain body, a lot of shame and guilt, which created a lot of judgment of each other. We just love to judge each other. I always say, let God be God, right? That's not your job. That's not my job. Wow, when I don't judge people, I feel good. Oh, the weight comes off of me. And so we are addicted to the destruction because it's what we know. It's comfortable. I can remember when I tried to get out of that cycle of destruction and I watched a lot of destruction in my family. And, it was when people say hurt people, well, it happens, but it doesn't have to happen anymore, right? So it was something that happened. It was wound against wound. It was people battling because they were hurting and they didn't know how to mend that within themselves. I didn't know how to mend that. I was a child. My parents didn't know at the time. They didn't have access to the tools that I have access to right now. And so that became the norm. Destruction is the norm. Death culture is the norm on this planet. Drink yourself to death, drug yourself to death, screw yourself to death, do all these things to death. Why even bother? What's the nihilism, plagued with nihilism. What happens when we try to get out of it, it's very uncomfortable. It's something that you're not used to. It doesn't feel like something and your ego starts to panic, right? As this new information, so I want to explain chaos and order. As this new information's coming in, it's chaotic because it is going against what you've known. Chaotic energy until you make sense of it and there's order that happens, right? So I was telling you, both sides matter. For you to be able to anchor in to understanding that that does not need to be your norm anymore, and that love is not about destruction. And that the energy that made you and that resides within you has the capacity to create any reality that you want. And so we shift from our neurochemistry is wired to go there to destruction. It knows it. It's built a bridge. Your synapses are like, oh, this is not a boom, destruction. Oh, they're getting close. They might wound me. Destruction, right? This doesn't feel good. Destruction, right? Escapism. We go there. I'm here to tell you that there's another way. There's a way that's trying to get to you. There's an energy that's trying to get to you. There's the truth that's trying to get to you, baby. It's trying to get to you. And you have to understand that, okay, I'm in a little looping pattern of this. I need to shift this and this to get to, I am God-made. I am holy. I am sacred. I am royalty. I am a king and queen's child. I am connected to the Most High. I am love frequency. I have the capabilities to create this new earth on planet Earth. I have the capabilities to create anything I want in my life. And I get to choose life over destruction. And I get to take all the destruction that happened and learn from it, because that is the building block. It is necessary. I told you before, the law of polarity, right? Destruction, creation, same thing, different degree. I learned from the destruction. I understand where I went wrong. I understand where my thoughts were off. I understand what choice I made that jacked me up. I understand now so that I can switch. So don't think that this didn't matter, because this mattered. None of that was in vain. Woo! The spirit took over. I got really, really excited. You are so loved. If you like this video, please subscribe, share, leave me a comment. I love you. I honor you. You're doing an amazing job, and we have a lot more to come. Big love.